Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a psychological trap that so many people fall into, especially when they're navigating something as stressful as family court. It's that feeling of being completely and utterly stuck. We're going to break down why it happens and, way more importantly, what you can actually do about it. So let's just start with a feeling. You know the one I'm talking about, right? It's that sense that you're running on a treadmill. You're putting in all the effort, you're documenting everything, you're trying to stay calm, but the results feel totally random, completely disconnected from anything you do.
Well, there's a name for that feeling. It's called learned helplessness. And here is the most important part. This is not a character flaw. It's not laziness. It is a logical, and I mean logical, survival strategy your brain comes up with to protect you from the pain of trying and failing in an environment that feels completely out of your control.
So, you have to ask, why is family court such a perfect storm for this? Well, it is not an accident. The system itself has these built-in features that practically manufacture this feeling. Let's call them the helplessness engines of the system.
Just look at this list. It's like a recipe for mental exhaustion, right? You've got constant delays, a huge power imbalance, rules that make no sense, and then, just to keep you hooked, you get these random little wins that give you a tiny bit of hope before the next setback. It's designed to make you feel like a passenger in your own life.
And this kind of environment doesn't just feel bad, you know? It actually kicks off this really predictable psychological spiral that can trap anyone, even the most organized, rational person you know. Let's walk through exactly how this trap gets sprung. See, it starts so logically. You try hard, but then the outcome feels completely unrelated. So your brain learns a lesson. Okay, I guess what I do doesn't matter. Your stress shoots up and your nervous system just goes haywire. And here's the real kicker. Step 6, the system sees your stress response, maybe you miss a deadline because you're paralyzed with anxiety, and it labels you as the problem. Non-compliant, unstable. And that's when the trap slams shut. Now, what's really interesting is how this shows up. It's usually in one of 3 ways. You've got the fighter, who just works harder, convinced they can control the chaos. Then there's the freezer, who starts avoiding everything, unopened mail, missed deadlines, just to stop the pain. And the fawner, who tries to make it all go away by agreeing to anything. Do any of these sound a little familiar? They're all just different ways of coping. One of the things that can make you feel the most helpless is when you bring a mountain of evidence and it just gets ignored. This isn't necessarily because they don't believe you. A lot of the time, it's a translation problem. You're bringing them the whole messy human story, but the court is a machine designed to answer one very specific, narrow question at a time. It feels like gaslighting, but it's often about the limits of the process. Okay, so we have diagnosed the problem in detail. Now let's get to the good stuff, the prescription. And this isn't some self-help fluff. This is a practical, actionable toolkit you can use to start taking back your power one small move at a time. And here it is. This might be the single most important idea in this whole explainer. The way out is not to try harder. It's not to be stronger. That's just more of the same. The most powerful thing you can do is to deliberately make your effort smaller, clearer, and way more focused. It's about strategy, not brute force. So, where do you start? Right here, with the one ask rule. Think of this as a filter for chaos. Before you file anything or go to any hearing, you force yourself to get your entire point onto a single page, just like this. If you can't, your brain is going to treat it as overwhelming noise. This makes things clear for the court, sure, but more importantly, it makes things clear for you. All right, next tool in the box, how you communicate. With the other party, with lawyers, with anyone in the system, you use the calm method. This isn't about being nice or passive. It's about being surgically precise. Every email, every text should be clear, accurate, limited to the facts, and measurable. And here is a perfect example of calm in action. It is just facts. It sets a clear boundary, and it puts the responsibility on the other person to respond in a concrete way. This isn't about winning an argument in the moment. It's about being impossible to misinterpret later. It protects you. Okay, what's this? Just the number 24? This number, this is your new best friend. It represents a super simple but really powerful way to break that helplessness spiral. It's called the 24-hour next step rule. The idea couldn't be simpler. After a bad hearing, a nasty email, any kind of setback, your only job is to pick one small action you can finish in the next 24 hours. Scan 10 pages, draft your one ask sheet, update one column on a spreadsheet. See, your brain rebuilds its sense of power by completing small loops, not by staring at huge, overwhelming projects. Now, let's just zoom out for a minute, because what we're talking about here isn't just about one person's private pain. When this experience becomes widespread, it has huge, damaging consequences for all of society. Think about it. When a whole bunch of people come away from our core institutions feeling like the system is rigged and their efforts don't matter, that feeling doesn't just stay there. It metastasizes. It becomes this pipeline of public distrust that erodes our faith in everything. And here's what's so critical. The research is really clear that what rebuilds trust isn't actually winning. It's these four things. It's feeling like you were heard, that the process was consistent and neutral, that you were treated with basic respect, and that the people in charge were at least sincere. That's called procedural legitimacy, and it actually matters more than the final outcome. So let's wrap this all up. If you're feeling tracked, you are not crazy. You're not weak. You are having a perfectly normal human reaction to a high-stakes, low-control environment. Your path forward is not to just grit your teeth and try harder. It's to make your efforts smaller, clearer, and repeatable. The whole goal here is to shift your brain out of that "I'm trapped" state and into an "I can act" state, no matter how tiny the action is. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What is your first clear step? What is the one small, controllable thing you can get done in the next 24 hours?